Question number 1. The question is about the extraction of aluminium. 1.1 is an AO2 question, which is an application based question. An aluminium atom is present here. Give the number of electrons and neutrons in the aluminium atom. In aluminium atom, the smaller number is showing the atomic number and the bigger number is showing the mass number. Atomic number means number of protons or number of electrons. Students make the mistake, they write number of protons and number of electrons. Because we know that atom is a neutral particle, therefore the number of protons are always equal to number of electrons. If there are 13 protons present in the nucleus of aluminium, so it means that the 13 electrons are also present in the orbits or energy shells. 27 mean mass number, which is actually the number of protons and number of neutrons. From here we can say that the number of electrons are present here, they are 13. If you want to find the number of neutrons, we need to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. We can get the number of neutrons. The number of neutrons are 27 minus 13 is equal to 14. Neutrons are present in the nucleus of aluminium. This question is from the charges of subatomic particles, size, and the mass of the atoms. Aluminium is extracted by the electrolysis of the molten mixture of aluminium oxide and cryolite. Figure number 1 shows the cells used for the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. So these are positive electrodes. These are negative electrode. Here is the molten mixture of aluminium oxide and cryolite is present here. The question is, aluminium is produced by the reduction of aluminium oxide. This is aluminium oxide, and reduction method is used to extract aluminium to remove oxygen from aluminium oxide. What is meant by term reduction? So it is an A1 question, and this question is from the topic of reactivity of metals. If you look here, aluminium oxide changes to aluminium. Aluminium oxide, it changes to aluminium. This is the basic equation. We can see that aluminium oxide has oxygen. When it is reduced with the help of carbon, it changes into aluminium. So it means oxygen is removed. So the loss of oxygen is called reduction. We have two simple terms, oil rig. Oil rig means oxidation is loss of electron and reduction is gain of electron. We can use the same definition here also, but it is very obvious from here, from this equation. In aluminium oxide, aluminium is reduced by losing the oxygen. Let's see the model answer. Reduction is the loss of oxygen. From here we can see here. Or the other definition is reduction is the gain of electrons. Like aluminium oxide, it changes to aluminium 3 plus and oxygen 2 minus. If you see here, aluminium needs 3 electrons. When it takes 3 electrons, it becomes aluminium at the end by the process of electrolysis. 1.3 is an year 1 question, is a knowledge based question, and student must need to remember the electrolysis of aluminium oxide. Oxygen is formed at the positive carbon electrode. The information is given. A student need to use this information. Explain why the positive carbon electrodes must be continually replaced. This question is from the topic of electrolysis. If you go back to our figure number 1, Figure number 1, we can see that these are positive electrodes and they are made up of graphite or carbon. When oxygen is formed here, this oxygen and this is carbon, we know that there is molten aluminum oxide, therefore the temperature is here inside is very high. When oxygen is released from the aluminum oxide, it reacts with the electrodes, which is the positive electrode made up of carbon, and makes carbon dioxide. So as a result, carbon reacts with oxygen and it makes carbon dioxide. This electrode is becoming thin and thin. With the time, we need to replace these electrodes. Let's see the model answer. The model answer is the positive electrode is made up of graphite, mean carbon, and it reacts with oxygen at very high temperature. The electrode catches fire. As the result of that, the carbon dioxide is formed and the equation is given here. Student needs to mention all these 3 points to get 3 marks. 1.4 is an AO2 question and AO1 question combination. And this question is from the properties of ionic compounds, metals, and graphite. A substance conducts electricity because of free moving charges. What are the free moving charge particles are present in carbon electrode made up of graphite, molten mixture of aluminum oxide and cryolite, and metal wire? In graphite, we know that one carbon atom make the bond with other 3 carbon atoms. There are 3 covalent bonds are present, and one electron is unable to make the covalent bond with any other carbon atom. This electron will get free and it start moving within the graphite structure, which is responsible for carrying the charge from one place to another place in graphite. Therefore, in graphite, the delocalized electron or the free electrons are present. In aluminum oxide, the free ions are present, like aluminum ion and oxide ion. These free moving ions are responsible for the conduction of electricity. In the metal wire, there are a large number of free or delocalized electrons are present. These free moving charge particles are carrying the charge with them and are responsible for the conduction of electricity or electric current. Let's see the model answer. Carbon electrodes made from graphite, they have large number of delocalized electrons and we explain it here. Molten mixture of aluminum oxide and cryolite, the free ions are present, which we know that such as aluminum ion 3 plus and oxide ion 2 minus. These free ions are responsible for the conduction of electricity. And in the metal wire, a large number of free electrons are present. So these free electrons are present for the conduction of electricity.